Hey, what's up guys? Blank Skull here, and I'm bringing you guys a gameplay commentary playing Domination on Mirage, one of the new DLC maps. And I'm just going to talk about the gameplay here for a second. I'm using the PDW with what I believe to be grip, what is it, grip, fast mag, and maybe that's it. Yeah, I think that might be it. And basically, I'm not quite sure my scores. I think it's like 30 something to 11, or no, 30 something to like 15, something like that. I'm not 100% sure. You'll see at the end. And I get 6 captures this game, and I have a topic I want to talk about, and it's just that stutter. The topic I want to talk about is kill streaks, and how some kill streaks need to be buffed, some need to be nerfed, etc., etc. Now you can see in this game I'm rocking UAV, counter UAV, and stealth chopper. Now I only get to stealth chopper once, and it's toward the end of the gameplay. And I don't know, I think it gets me like 3 kills, and then either it gets shot down or just goes away. And that's what I want to talk about, is how the stealth chopper, I consider that there are kill streaks to be in the same class. So like the AGR and the stealth chopper, for example, they're in the same class. Stealth chopper is 50 points above the AGR to get. And the AGR is 150 times better than the stealth chopper. Like earlier, like just literally like 20 minutes ago, I was playing a game. I got 3 stealth choppers in the first round of domination. I saved one for the second round. And somehow I still managed to drop under 40 kills. Now, let's see, if I would have gotten 3 AGRs in that one game, I would have easily got 60, 70 kills. And that's the thing I want to talk about, because stealth choppers, they don't really do a whole lot. Like, I think they need to be buffed. That's something that needs to be buffed. Because they need to either roam like the whole map rather than one secluded area, or just be more difficult to be shot down, or just do more damage, or something along those lines. Maybe be like kind of like the AGR, how you're able to control it. Maybe you can be able to control a stealth chopper. I don't know, but they need a buff. I know that. And the AGR needs a huge nerf. Because that thing, I don't know what it is, but you just cannot destroy it. Like, unless you have EMP grenades, good luck destroying an AGR. Like, even, like, I pumped, clip after clip of PD bullets into it. And it does absolutely nothing. Like, the thing just looks at me and fires its missiles at me. No problem. And, the fact that they just roam, like, you can chuck it in an enemy spawn in domination or demolition, and the enemy will not be able to leave their spawn. Even with the black hat, it's hard to destroy this thing, because you have to aim on it for so long. With the black hat, it'll just turn around and see you instantly, and well, you're dead. So, that's one thing. Those are 2 things that need to be nerfed and buffed. Buff on the stealth chopper, nerf on the AGR. Next I want to talk about the Lodestar and the VTOL. Now I consider them to be in the same class as well. I think the VTOL might be like 100 points ahead of the Lodestar to obtain, I guess you could say. And the Lodestar, along with the AGR, is 150 times better. Like the Lodestar, I don't know, it just, the missiles fire so quickly out of it, it's a lot more difficult to destroy than the VTOL. The explosives do a lot more damage, and let's look at the VTOL here. The VTOL, easy to destroy down. Like you can take that thing out with bullets. Like you just sit there and pump bullet after bullet and do it. After like 2 clips, that thing's gone. Unlike an AGR or a Lodestar, and and then the VTOL doesn't do a whole lot of damage either. I find like the bullets that it pumps are just wimpy little bullets, compared to the Lodestar's missiles, which are hefty, hefty, hefty. Maybe you get that reference, whatever. Um, the VTOL, sorry, just doesn't do a whole lot, and that's something they need to buff. I don't know if they need to, make it so it's harder to destroy, make it so that the bullets do more, the explosives do more, a higher fire rate. I'm not quite sure what they need to do, but that we can leave that to the development team to figure out. But they need to buff that. The Lodestar needs a huge nerfing. Like, if any of you remember back in MW3, the Reaper and the AC-130 were really good kill streaks. But MW3 had spawn protection. So when you spawned in, you couldn't be killed by an AC-130 or a Reaper for, I don't know, a good 30 seconds or so. Or, no, I don't know, maybe it was like 10, 20 seconds. If you're on Nuketown 2025, sorry, I just hit my mic, but if you're on Nuketown 2025, and there's a Lodestar, you're pretty much screwed, because you can just spawn dead, spawn dead, spawn dead. Like, there's literally a half a second in between your spawning and your death, because there's no spawn protection. That's something I think they need to add. They need to add it to the game, honestly, I think, because Lodestar is not the only thing that's like that. Like, the Swarm can also work like that on Nuketown 2025. So they really need to have that, 10-second spawn protection to give you time to get into the house and just wait for that Lodestar to go. Now, I know that's camping and everything, but what would you rather, sit in the house and be called a camper, or run outside and get completely annihilated by someone's kill streak? I'm gonna go with the camping in the house. And the next thing, actually, I don't know what's after this. Oh, yes, the Warthog. The Warthog needs a huge nerf. Like, honestly, like, it doesn't do that good on a lot. Like, Nuketown 2025, you will destroy with it because it's so open and so small. But on other maps, it doesn't overly do a whole lot. You know, like, but the only problem with it is that it strafes back so many times. Like, I'm not quite sure how many times it strafes back and forth. I think it might be like 4 or 5 or 6 maybe. You know, compared to the, what was it, the strafe run in MW 3. Like, that only went by once, and then it turned around and went by again. So it went by twice. And that went, like, one area, and it could only take out that one area. The Warthog goes back, like, 4 or 6 times, and then, and it it seems like so much more than that. It seems like it goes back and forth, like, 20 times. And every time it goes by, like, that thing can cover the entire map when it goes by. You know, just launching bullet after bullet, missile after missile, and just completely annihilating everything. That needs to be nerfed. Like, they need to bring down either the damage or the amount that it swoops back and forth. You know, like, make it swoop back and forth like twice, 3 times at the most. Honestly, that's all you need. And then well, I don't know. The dogs personally, I think, need a buff. Because the dogs are they're idiots in this game. Like, I've used them before, and they're just idiots. And I've seen enemies use them. Like, there were me and this one other guy, and we were just walking around, killing people, and 3 dogs just run up to us to kill us. And they go to jump at us, and they just jump right past us. They go to jump at us again, they jump right past us, and we just kind of shoot bullets into it. Like, it's almost more of a joke, because they're just so bad. They need a buff. And then the lightning strike, they already buffed the lightning strike. But personally, I think it needs another buff. You know, maybe just the explosive range of it. You know, because like if you're playing Ground War, which I've been playing a lot of, Ground War is officially my game mode of choice because everyone in it seems to be really objective based, and that's the way I like to play. But you know, so I joined Domination before, and everyone just run around and do whatever. Unlike Ground War, they actually play the objective. But anyways, I'm getting off topic now. Like, I've been, you know, in multiple Ground War games just in these last 2 days, where someone calls it a lightning strike and kills 7 or 8 people on our team. I was in the ones, and they killed the entire enemy team, or sorry, our entire team. And I'm just thinking, like, how can that happen? You know, like, I understand that, like, they put the whole delay on it because before it used to just launch down instantaneously. But, so they put the delay on it. That was a good thing, because now you have to kind of predict where the people are. But in Ground War, you don't exactly have to predict, because there's people everywhere in Ground War. And if you got them going on a spawn trap in Domination or Demolition, sorry, there's no Demolition in Ground War, but if you have them on a spawn trap, in, well, really any game mode, but mostly Domination, and you put a lightning strike in their spawn, they are screwed. Like, you're easily going to get 6 or 7 kills. And that, I think, is just too OP. It needs to be buffed. And the Hellstorm missile, or no, sorry, I didn't mean to say that. The lightning strike needs to be nerfed. The Hellstorm missile needs to be buffed because it doesn't do a lot of damage. Like, if you've ever watched slow-mo videos where it shows that Hellstorm missile come down in a hole, like not bursted yet or clustered, sorry. The thing is like the size of the bus that I'm in right now in the commentary. Well, if I was in it right when I don't know if this is gonna sync up perfectly, but it's basically the size of a bus in Black Ops 2. And it has very little explosive or blast radius. And then when you cluster it, you basically get screwed over. Because I find that when you cluster it, the thing slows down. The Hellstorm missile starts to go slower. So you cluster it, it starts to go slower, then everyone just ducks a corner immediately and no one gets killed by it. Or you get screwed over because one of the missiles decided to decided to go stray off to the side all by itself, and you gotta sit there and wait for 20 seconds until the missile finally decides to do something with itself. So that needs a buff in my opinion. You know, it needs, you know, like the cluster needs to go down faster, and there has to be just more of a blast radius on the non-cluster that's still compacted. So that pretty much brings an end to this crappy commentary. It was kind of, yeah, this commentary was kind of crappy. But whatever, that basically brings an end to this commentary. I'm not quite sure how much longer there is. I think there's like, yeah, there's only a minute, so I don't know. I'll probably just let it play for the last minute. So it's been Blank Skull. Like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you want more, and I'll see you guys later.